Hi, hello, 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 everyone. Hi. So, it's me. This is my hair today because I wanted something wild and chaotic. Um, and and I don't have one of those, I don't know why I want to call it a tiger scrunchie. I don't have one of those claws to just like claw my hair up on top of my head. So I have settled for this. So, hello, 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 hello. One second. So yes, Eve. Oh my gosh, and I'm blurry. Of course, I'm blurry. I look up, I see Eve, and then I notice the blur. It was blurry yesterday. I missed you. It blurred. I was like, "Where's Eve?" I was hoping I might see you today. Glad to see that my hopes have been met. Hey, Sandra, how you doing? Did you really? Who is that? Who that is? I'ma Google it. What? What? There we go. Oof. Well, hopefully that all calms down and you can. Wow, he was born December 22nd. Cool. His birthday is tomorrow. Technically, yeah, it's tomorrow. I don't think there are a few places on the planet where it's already tomorrow, but I think it's still today. Maybe. Hey Google, what time is it in India?
The time in India is 7:36 p.m.
Oof. Yeah, so his birthday is tomorrow. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Did you know that his birthday was tomorrow? Did you know that he was a December 22nd Sagittarius? Sandra? If you didn't, then impeccable timing as always. Um, oh. Excuse me. So I was. Oh, I was looking at this. I was like, wait, this looks like yesterday's non-sponsor. It's slightly different. The cup or the straw is red instead of orange, if that's a clue. Today is also sponsored by iced coffee. That is way too sweet, but it's fine. Um, sorry. Okay. um, what was I saying? It's iced coffee again. I was gonna bust open. I was gonna crack open the blackberry merlot, but I did not. I didn't get mead when I was in the UK. Tragic. I didn't get to see Kirsty. I didn't get mead. I didn't go to a castle. Like there are so many things to do on the next trip. I guess. Um, I didn't get to tour. I forgot to get souvenirs because there are a few more people in my life now that weren't in my life earlier. And I passed by a souvenir shop. Or I passed by the shop that I got my souvenirs from last time. And I was like, oh, I'll come back. And I forgot to circle back. So it didn't happen. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't get souvenirs. But it's fine. Um, So I was going to do the next permutation of the archangels, but instead of doing that, I think I'm going to go ahead and do an astrology-ish well, not really. I'm going to pull cards based around astrology, so kind of. I might do the Capricorn season today. And then I noticed, because I was like 12:21, that's the solstice, right? In approximately 13-ish hours, uh, the sun will ingress into Capricorn, according to Time Nomad, which I love, but it could be incorrect. But anyway, I was at work and I was looking at it. Also, when I looked at it, the moon was exactly conjunct the North Node in Aries. It was like moon 22 degrees, Aries 22 degrees. Yeah, see? Moon exactly conjunct. Oh, forget my screen. It might be a little dirty. Moon exactly conjunct the North Node in Aries. Also trining Mars in Sagittarius. Anyway. It's almost summer. I mean, it's summer somewhere. Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah, that's what you're saying. I'm sorry. I need to just I need to just do that. There we go. Out of sight, out of mind. Well, until it makes noise. So I was gonna do the archangel thing, kinda. And then I was like, maybe not today. I was kind of gonna do it, and then I was like, oh, like it's about that time. And I looked it up, and I noticed that there are a few things at 19 degrees. So, oh, okay, gotcha. Well, if you travel, about flip it to the other side of the world, then you'd be there. Then you'd probably maybe have to go home at some point, but getting there. Um, I feel a little like not a little spicy, but I feel like certain things are unnecessary. So anyway, um, uh, I hope work settles down. I can't remember if I said that, but I think you said the end of the month is usually kind of you know busy. Um, so I noticed there were quite a few things at 19 degrees, and they still are. So I was like, oh, I can look at the Sabian symbols and pull a card, right? Because I've done that before. We got like a few things. Mars is 19 degrees Sagittarius. Uranus is 19 degrees Taurus retrograde. And no, it was more than that. It was more than that. I wonder if within the past few hours it changed. It was more than just these two. Even when I just looked at it. Hold up. You know what? I'm going to go back to whatever time that was. We're going back in time. Uranus, 19 degrees retrograde Taurus. The vertex at this time was 19 degrees Gemini. Venus was 19 degrees Scorpio. Venus is at 20 degrees now, conjuncting Black Moon Lilith, more exactly. Venus was at 19 when I looked at it. Mars is at 19, Sagittarius still, and I guess that was it. And the moon was at 19 degrees Aries when I looked at it. But the moon is fast. And I was like, oh, that's a lot of 19s. And then I was like, that's the sun. There's the sun of a lot of stuff. But now Venus has moved to 20. So if we look at 20, Right now, the vertex is 20 Leo, Juno was 20 Virgo, Venus and Lilith are 20 Scorpio. So yeah, we're probably not gonna do that. I mean, I guess we could, but yeah, why not? I don't know. Maybe I'll just pull cards for what, where, how, question words, how Sagittarius season is leaving us, how we are stepping into Capricorn season. Oh, snap, Everlong Mystic Pisces. What? Gonna have to watch that one. Gonna have to get that one to watch. Probably won't until Feb. Oof. You got some vacation in there. Oh, you're important though. You're an important person. So. Oof. So maybe we'll do that. I don't know what deck I want to use though. I'm not sure. I feel like I'm so large. I mean, just like so central. You know, sometimes I miss my little corner. I don't want to use these decks. I don't even know what deck I want to use. What's a Sagittarius Capricorn? I can't even think. Maybe I should just go to sleep. I got a few hours of sleep yesterday. I feel like there's something on the tip of my brain, and I can almost picture it. You know, in times like this, sometimes I like to use my favorite virtual assistant. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey Google, roll a d6.
You rolled 3.
3. I don't even know if anything's down there. Vacated Arizona first weekend. Hey. Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that now. I'm actually going to be coming back from my vacation is going to be ending the first weekend in February. Let's see. I'm going to scoot over here out of frame where you may see a sliver of me. Oh. 3. Let's see what we got to work with. Here's a deck that I like never use, and I'm not going to start today. We have the Osho Zen Tarot and the Dreams of Gaia, and then like pocket decks. Also, another version of the Astral Matrix Tarot. I don't know if I'm gonna do this. No, I'm like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? I could go for the Dreams of Gaia. No Osho. Well, we did have Guru. Sandra came in hot with the Guru energy, so I feel like it would be thematically relevant. And I feel like Capricorn, the intersection of Capricorn and Sagittarius can potentially give Guru vibes. Hey Google, flip a coin.
It landed on heads.
Ooh, okay, Dreams of Gaia. I was kind of feeling this one. This is iconic third drawer energy. It started in the third drawer and it's still in the third drawer, just like the Osha's and Tarot, but that's fine. Excuse me. I should use the Crow Tarot. Oof, I shouldn't. I never use the Crow Tarot. It's too much. It scares me. It's intimidating. About a crystal hospital. Oh. Eve's a Virgo. Maybe there'll be some Earth synergy, and she'll happen upon the fabled and mysterious crystal hospital. All right, let's do it. I could use both cards. I could use both decks. What am I doing today? I don't know. Maybe we just pull some cards and see what's up. I kind of don't want to do that though, because I am afraid. I have fear in my whatever, because there's just, it's fine. You know what I mean? Ooh. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So your hotel will not be in Sedona. I'm sure that's nice on the wallet too. How long ago was that? It would be so that the timing is interesting. The timing is very intriguing for me personally. That timing is very, very intriguing. So two cards fell out, and it's the Five of Wand, the Five of Fire, and the Five of Fire in this deck is very suggestive. It's very questionable. It's very what is happening. And I was like, okay, but then the King of Water was behind it, and I was like, okay, Archangel of Healing. And then I looked at the bottom of the deck, and the King of Air was there, Archangel Commander. And also there's the triple goddess thingy, and that was a thing yesterday, right? And so I don't know if it's some kind of intense bromance between the King of Water and the King of Air. But then, okay, so first it didn't read like bromance. First it read like competition. Like there's some kind of competition between these two kings. And then under the King of Air was the maiden. And I'm like, oh, okay. So they're competing for the maiden. And then it felt like the Seven of Air was issuing a challenge. And the Seneschal is it's like a royal officer, I believe. So, but it was almost giving a guardian energy. like the guardian, the one who is in charge, the one who's ward? Question mark. It's almost like there's an impossible task that is set about to claim the maiden. That is not, was it Perseus? Who rescued Andromeda? The Ring of Calibos? I'm thinking very what's that movie, Clash of the Titans? Andromeda, not galaxy. Greek mythology. Sip, no, 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 no. Ketis. No, who is it? Who are you? It is Perseus. Okay. I don't remember what the riddle was though. Ring of Calibos. Ring of Calibos? Oh my gosh, it was the Ring of Calibos. What? I believe. Look at my brain like low key being together. What? Hold up. Wait, wait, wait. Um, Acrisius was a mythical king of Argus and son of Abas and Aglalia. Aglia. Okay, let's get down. Blah, 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 blah. In the 1981 film, Calibos was set to marry Andromeda. Due to being deformed as a punishment by Zeus, Andromeda called off the wedding. Thetis, goddess of the sea and mother of Calibos, then had her priests at Joppa declare that every other man who wanted to wed Andromeda was given a riddle to solve by Calibos. Those who failed were burned at the stake. Oh, and then there's like intense fire here. Perseus did have a sword, and Calibos would be this king of water. He was the child of Thetis. Cool. But what was the riddle? And why did Calibos get punished? Here we go. We're reading the wiki on Clash of the Titans. Calibos is the son of Thetis, goddess of the sea. He was to marry the princess Andromeda and be next ruler of the kingdom of Joppa, but was deformed by Zeus as punishment for hunting and destroying every living thing surrounding the wells of the moon, including Zeus's entire sacred herd of flying horses, except for Pegasus. For that and many other transgressions, Zeus transformed him into a satyr-like creature to mark him as a destructive force of nature. He is subsequently shunned and forced to live as an outcast in the swamps and marshes. During his exile, Calibos becomes a fearsome warlord with a relentless army at his side. He delays and attempts to prevent Perseus from reaching his goal numerous times. In revenge against Joppa, Andromeda was taken to Calibos each night in her sleep by Thetis in form of a large vulture and given a riddle to be answered by anyone who wished to wed her. If they failed, they would be burned at the stake. Perseus managed to follow Andromeda into the swamp using the helmet left for him by Athena. After overhearing what the riddle would be, Perseus left but was ambushed by Calibos. Perseus managed to cut off Calibos' hand and presented it to Andromeda the next day. So the answer for the riddle ended up being Calabas's ring, and his severed hand had his ring on it. So, because as I'm reading this back, it almost seems what's the word? It almost seems coincidental. It's not coincidental, but it almost seems coincidental that in like it seems like Perseus accidentally solves the riddle. It's almost like if Calabas wouldn't have pursued, or if Calabas wouldn't have ambushed Perseus, then he never would have found the answer to the riddle. So it's like in this Five of Wands, the answer is actually found. And they both have glowy hands. So, either one of them could be Calabas. Both of them got some glow in their hands. Um, but it's almost an energy that's like when the solution for the problem lies in the problem or something like that. I'm struggling for words today. But it's that type of energy. It's like without being confronted by a challenge, maybe one that we would have avoided, like we never would have overcome it. Interesting. Interesting. What was this riddle, though? I never know where I'm going to go. Well, most of the time, I don't know where I'm going to go with these. Riddle of Calabas. Not riddle of California. What was the riddle? What was the riddle? The answer is helpful, not helpful. I love how I can find the answer to the riddle. Everything is giving me the answer to the riddle, but nothing is giving me the riddle itself. Like, can somebody give me the actual riddle, please? Okay, riddle of Calabas explained. Maybe in the explanation for the riddle, I can get what the riddle actually was. You know what I mean? I feel like this isn't. I feel like this ain't giving me what I want. It's just the answer. That's fine. Maybe that in and of itself is a part of the message today. Okay. Da-da-ba-da-ba. Let's see if I can hear the riddle. Oh, snap. Aphrodite gives him a magical sword, King of Air. Okay, is this it? He correctly answers the riddle, and a wedding is sad. I can't find the riddle. It's fine. I'm not going to spend any more time looking at my phone. I can't find the riddle. Wow. Okay. Yeah. But that's like this. How did I even get on Calabas? I don't remember. So the king of air and the king of water are competing for the hand of this maiden who is protected by the seneschal. Um, this impossible test. Oh, look, here's a cave. That could be the cave that Andromeda's spirit went to at night. The giant vulture isn't lost on me either, of course. I could pull a deck and look for the symbols. I feel like it had something to do with the moon. But maybe not, obviously. What am I doing? I'm kind of interested to see what the book says about this Five of Wands because it is so intense. Five of fire, sorry. They're not wands, it's fire. Air, fire. Here we go. Rivalry, competition, aggression, bullying, conflict, discord, chaos, and obstacles. A time of chaos, conflict, or confrontation, a battle for control or dominance, a desire for power, influence, or wealth. Do not judge or condemn others. Base your concerns in fact. Avoid pack mentality. Okay, that wasn't necessarily helpful. I don't know how to take this. But there's something interesting about, I guess that sticks out the most to me. Having accidentally, but receiving a reward for it. It's like if someone had a missing pet, or if someone, like if there was a scavenger hunt, or like Willy Wonka, right, in the Golden Ticket. Like, you don't even know that Willy Wonka is thinking of finding a successor for the Wonka fortune or whatever. There's a new Willy Wonka movie. Did y'all know that? Anyway, like you don't even know that Willy Wonka is doing the golden ticket thing. Like you just go and get a chocolate bar because you want some chocolate and you find a golden ticket in it. And you're like, what is this? And then it's like people come out the back, oh my gosh, you won. Or someone comes out with the fat check, the big check, and they hand it to you. And you're like, thanks. Like, I don't know what I did, but okay. Type of energy. Now, I could see this being resonant when it comes to like ego. And by that, I mean, it's like it's how they say that absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? It's almost like the Sorcerer's Stone in Harry Potter, and how it's like only the person who isn't looking for the stone finds the stone because of the power of the stone. It's like it's something that has the ability to corrupt the near incorruptible. Meaning, like, there are some really good people who, like, even the best of the best would be tempted and may fall. And that's why it's so cleverly hidden. And so it is only the one who is so meek, or it is only the one who's not looking for it, Who ends up finding it? Because it's like they're the only person that isn't going to be swayed by the power or influence of the thing type of energy. That's interesting. I guess. The ring. We got the ring. We got the vulture. I could use the tea leaf fortune cards. The tea leaf fortune cards, I like them, but it's a little miney for me. It's a little like a minefield. Because sometimes I resonate more for what's on the card, like the image, than the message that's on it. This is interesting though, because they're literally right here. The Spencer's Tarot cards and the other Astro Matrix. I don't remember what the read was about, but the Emperor was the Sphinx, and that energy came out. It was like, it's not what you think it would be, but it's like it's dangerous because it's like it would seem so much like the right answer is to exert a lot of force or to prove that you're worthy or whatever. But in the pursuit of the thing, again, it's like there's something that avoids those who pursue it. And that did. The Emperor just came out in the Spencer's Tarot, and it's a Sphinx in that deck. But another interesting thing is, I mean, kind of sort of potentially separately, was I think I went looking for the Archangel of Glory. Maybe. No. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. No. Wait. Is that when I used that deck? Was that when I used those two decks? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, because the Knight of Wands was Hanuman. That's when I used that deck. And it was like the Strength card came out to be disregarded. And then in pre-strength, it was the Two of Swords, which is my minor High Priestess. And then for minor strength, it got the full High Priestess. So it was this like inversion. Like the less force that one applies, the more of the picture they get to see. So like, what's this about? I feel like this isn't the deck to use to be like, what's this about? I'll try. What's this about? The Four of Air and the Five of Air. The Five of Air came out. The Four of Air is at the bottom of the deck. And Union is behind this. Woo! Okay. I was like, I don't think this chair goes back that far. It just went back a little. It made a little noise and went back a little farther than usual. I thought I was about to fall. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? I would end this video and delete it so fast. I'm kidding. I'd probably just like trim the end of it, but I feel like this is not helpful. It's not a rite of succession. I watched most of the Blue Beetle on the plane ride. It was so frustrating. I got a good seat. I got a seat on the way back with leg room. I got a monitor that my headphones plugged into, so I was able to watch movies. And I had like the runtime of the movie was very close to the time left in the flight, but I was seated on like in the front row of economy. So like the monitor came out and I had to put it back when we were landing. So I missed like the last 10 minutes of the movie. Ugh. But anyway, the part about the Blue Beetle is that like the Blue Beetle chooses its master. It's sentient. And there's something about this that also it feels like it tries to find the one um it tries to find like there's a sentience to it, basically. And because it's the maiden, it's untouched. Also, we have the eagle, which is associated with Zeus, and Perseus was Zeus affiliated. I think Perseus was a child of Zeus, but like, who wasn't? uh, and then you had Calabas, which was again the child of Thetis. Excuse me. But it's like there's something about this that finds its master. And it's interesting because it's almost like it's their actual face, but without a mirror, like they would never know. Almost how sometimes when Isis comes out, it's very much that like, did she know that she could resurrect the dead, or did she find out when Osiris died? Right. But the one thing I notice are, of course, these feathers and how they're both sort of like tied around. Well, hers is tied around her wrist, loosely wrapped around her wrist. And like he was the one that sort of set, it was a combined effort between him and this wisdom that set this impossible task, or that chose the conditions of victory for whatever this competition is. Almost like he's the referee. And he's holding the book. You know, holding the book is kind of high priestess energy. And then this blindfolded person is kind of minor high priestess energy, Two of Swords. So we kind of got that high priestess, Two of Swords energy here, sort of, in a way. Um, but it's something that one wouldn't recognize within themselves, which is the reason why this confrontation is necessary. Again, it feels like Perseus stumbled upon the answer. If Calabas wouldn't have ambushed Perseus, Perseus wouldn't have cut off his hand to look at his hand, to notice the ring, to realize that the ring is the answer to the riddle. And it's also interesting because it's like if the ring was the answer to the riddle, then like, hold on, let me see. Let me reread this. Because there's two ways I'm thinking about it. If Calabas knew the answer to the riddle, it's like if Calabas was not also subjected to the same examination as all of the other suitors of Andromeda, then it would make sense that he would have the ring, like the answer to the riddle, on his person. But if he wasn't aware of the answer to the riddle, then it's like he had the answer the whole time. So regardless of whether or not Andromeda wanted to marry him, okay, this is a metaphor. Like, I'm not saying that she should have been forced to marry him. But it's like, regardless of whether or not she wanted to, he held the answer. So by right of whatever the rules say, she was his to wed. And it's not like big oof energy, but it's like imagine having the answer to the riddle the whole time, but struggling and fighting and decimating and destroying so much to keep others away from something that one imagines themselves incapable of joining together with, wherever that union is. Oh, and then the self. Look at that. Union and the self. This is actually kind of cool. Um, well, it's like imagine wreaking all that havoc and then having the answer the whole time. And then finding out that you had the answer the whole time because you went after somebody else, and then a reversal of fate saw them find the answer within you. Not you specifically, just like how wild that is would be. Ooh, girl, hold on, let me stop. And there are dragonflies on this. So like this would be something that is like deep within one's person, something that's within them on like a soul level, and they would just have no idea. But that's the thing about challenges and tribulations. Sometimes they do bring things out of us that we don't even know are within us. So in a very roundabout way, I feel like this just got a little bit encouraging. You know what I mean? A little bit. And this could obviously be a battle between the head and the heart, right? The king of water being the heart, the king of air being the head. So, is this a battle between the head and the heart, or is this undeniable chemistry between the head and the heart? And we do have a union of self under this four of air. So that could be undeniable chemistry. That could be the intense bromance rather than the competition and aggression. Potentially. There's one way to read it. This can resonate in many different ways, or not at all. Partially, fully, halfly, wholly, in whatever way. Cool. Maybe that's it. Maybe I got lucky and found something, and I should just quit behind my head because it was a challenge to get here. There is also something about this Four of Swords that is so, because like the Four of Swords carries that like at peace energy, but there's something very like logical here. No, oh, who said it? Who said it? I was watching somebody. I was watching somebody on YouTube yesterday, or like the day before yesterday. It could have been Lynn through Lynn's eyes, maybe. I've been watching him a little bit lately. It could have been, no, it was either through Lynn's eyes or Infinite Tarot 888. Um, but somebody said that it was basically like when you trust in the divine, you wait different. And I was like, ooh. It's like if you have trust and faith that what shall be will come to pass, you wait different. You wait different than if you don't know. You wait different than if you're stressed and anxious because, whatever. Like when you are assured that it's going to happen in due time and you aren't stressed about a timeline, like you wait differently. Where did that energy come from? I'm supposed to be like not looking at this. Hold up. Sorry. Come on. Yeah, it's like that somewhere in here. Oh, because of this card. That's why. It's like this energy. When you have trust and when you have faith, when you have that knowing, you wait differently. There's no, and look, the heart is one of the most important. Like the heart is a gear. So again, well, the heart isn't a, well, it is, but it isn't. The heart is like this glowy orb thingy that has gears around it. So it's like not a gear, but it is a gear, but it isn't. And again, it feels like that's part of this union with self energy, where the heart plays in with the head. Which is interesting because yesterday's permutation of the four archangels um, had around the archangel of glory. It was just in my brain and it disappeared. Around the archangel of glory, it had no, it was before that. It was the Eight of Swords, another card, and the Knight of Cups. And it was that energy of like where the head and the heart are, where it's when it's hard to tell where mental ends and the emotional begins and vice versa. And I was almost like, like kind of like depression when it's something so heavy that it's like mentally and emotionally, it's very hard to like separate the one from the other. So instead of it being like the head and the heart marrying in a way that is not necessarily productive, it's the head and the heart in a harmonious, like working together type way, right? Cool. And again, it's like with this maiden, it's something that's never been almost like Rapunzel, but it's something that's never been like experienced. Maybe it's like it's getting out of the cave for the first time, and this is like low key. Is this low key Gothel? We got a low key Gothel energy over here. Maybe. Oh my god, that could both be Gothel. These are Gothel. This is Rapunzel. Anyway, Mother Gothel. I feel like this Four of Earth establishes the task as impossible. To me, this is reading as like Atlas holding up the weight of the world, and who else can hold up the world but Atlas, besides Hercules for a little bit? You know what I mean? But that could also be, um, that could be, it's like when we are unaware of something, then the weight of that thing is held for us. But once we become aware of it with the union of self, once we become aware of it, then it's like we have to bear that burden, right? And that is kind of sort of almost very Queen of Pentacles, Ebony Shield, the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It's like once we know, then we have to bear the weight of that knowing. Or once we claim a throne, we become responsible for the domain that it governs. And it isn't necessarily a heavy or weighty responsibility because, again, it's like it's the type of thing that it's not taken lightly and it's not passed on to one who is incapable of sustaining it, but on the psyche of the one who comes into it, it may potentially be a lot for a bit at least to adjust to like, oh my gosh, no, like I have to be like so much more aware of so many more things. It doesn't always have to be a burden, or in the long run, it doesn't necessarily have to be a burden after that time of adjustment. right? I'm curious now. I just like wish I knew what this related to. Maybe it's just like a one off, you know? Maybe it's not all the 19s, now 20s that's in the astrological pie. Maybe it's not Sun transiting from Sagittarius into Capricorn. Maybe it just is what it is. Maybe it's a follow up to yesterday. Maybe everything I do is just one big long reading told over time. You know what I mean? Maybe not. Who knows? I was going to say we don't have a representative of fire. The only fire on the table is the five of fire. It's mostly earth and air, honestly. King of air, the seven of air, and the five of air, and the four of air at the bottom of the deck. Then we have the 12 of earth and the four of earth. We have non suited, the maiden and wisdom, like major arcana. Um, yeah, right. I don't know. The lightning, because Calabosh slew the herd of Pegasi, slew the herd of winged horses, it made me think of the Eight of Wands in the Vice Versa Tarot, because on the back of the Eight of Wands, it shows Pegasus coming in. And in the book, it's like, Pegasus is bringing in some swift karma. So if you got good karma to reap, prepare for things to get like really, really great. If you got not so great karma to reap, prepare for, you know, it to come back around. But it has lightning in that card, and that's what the lightning is making me think of. I'm so tempted to pull like before and after cards, but also it's already been an hour. And not every reading has to be 3 hours long. 1 hour is acceptable. Less than 1 hour preferred. Sometimes, most of the time. Anyway, I was actually going to watch back or listen to the Sagittarius one before I did the Capricorn one, but I didn't have time, so I did not. Oh, I see a new icon on my phone. I'm like, what is that? It's for that app that I just downloaded. What am I looking at? I already lost my train of thought. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay. I am like low key impressed with my brain though. I'm like, okay, brain, all right. We're doing it. We're doing something. So, Scorpio into Sagittarius, let ambition be your guide, test driving the new you. Blurry thumbnail. That's the title. Um, cool. Yeah, I guess that's this. I'm going to give this like 2 shuffles to see if anything else wants to come out. I am going to put this here because you are important. That might be it, honestly. I got 351. Ooh, let's look up angel number 351. I was going to type, but my keyboard is on the floor. So I will search on my phone. Angel number 351. Your thoughts, feelings, and impressions are being infused with divine guidance. According to Sacred Scribes, angel number something something. That's the blurb. The 351 angel number means you can focus your mind on manifesting your desires. Signifies that your twin flame journey is about to begin. Basically, God wants you to deliver something great into the world. Perhaps your will and enthusiasm will make you stands for good fortune and wonderful opportunities. Surrounds you and always works in your favor when you adopt optimism. If you see angel number 351, the message relates to the field of relationships and hobbies. I probably should have just picked one. Usually I do. Today we're just like scrolling through and reading the blurb on Google. Anyway, let's go. I'll give it 2 to see if anything else wants to come out. Nope. Bottom of the deck is this 8 of air. Which feels like, I don't know if it's the one necessarily like overseeing this entire operation situation. It's making me think of the angel of memory in the Oracle of Emanations, which is basically like if you want to take something, you have to leave something. And it's not innocence, because now it's bringing me back to this. It's not innocence. It's almost like a naivete that you have to leave behind. Because it's like, no problem, Eve. Thanks for stopping by. I need to end this, so. But it's like once you know something, your ignorance of it, it's like you trade your knowledge for ignorance. And, sometimes they say ignorance is bliss. So, not be careful what you wish for, but you know what I mean. Sylvanius, Mask of Truth just came out when I used the fairy deck, didn't he? It makes me think of this because it feels like the mask is her true face, but she doesn't know her own face. I guess I'll title this, It Finds You When You're Not Looking for It. Yeah, I feel like that's really it. Nothing else came out. I don't have to drag this on for any longer. I'm going to take another picture. And I guess it's going to be the thumbnail. See, if I make these the thumbnails, it's easy. Well, I mean, I guess it would be easier to just leave the thumbnail as it is, right? Or to do no thumbnail. Am I going to take the picture and then do the thumbnail? All right, I'm going to take the picture and then get a final card, I guess. Usually I stand up to take it, but that's good enough. The colors look so saturated. Some of the colors look so saturated on my phone screen. It's like the blues and the reds look really saturated. Some of the greens look a little washed out. Isn't that interesting? There you go. That's how they're laid out on the table. Don't some of them look like really saturated? Like these two especially. look very saturated to me. But I don't know if they necessarily look like that in real life. Do they? Anyway, it's fine. All right. Let's get our final card. Ooh. Who is this? The Four of Fire. Four of Fire, Four of Earth, Four of Air. Just haven't seen the Four of Water. Look at that. Look at that. There was a card in this deck that popped up into my mind's eye. Kinda, sorta. And I just saw the card and I looked at the cut and I was like, roll my eyes. I'm probably so weird. It's fine. I know I am. All right, final card, please. Thank you. Oh, it's face down. We love a bit of mystery. This is the last card, one of the last cards that I saw as I was putting the last card into the deck. And it's this Three of Earth. Oh my gosh, this is our satyr. Is this our satyr? Kinda. He's given satyr energy. Oh wait, no, he's got a leg. Or at least one leg. The other leg looks like it's a root. I don't think I've ever noticed. He's nourishing the acorn with his blood. See, right there. And the only other bleeding hand that we've seen was in that Eight of Air, where when you have to give something to get something. Also, there's something about like if squirrels ate all of the acorns, there'd be no more trees. There'd be no new trees. Right? Type of energy. And he's got another acorn in his hand. This is also given me, Are You My Mummy? From Doctor Who. Because it's like he has the acorn in his hand and then he's nourishing this other acorn. It's almost feeling or reading like that's the blueprint for the thing that he is nurturing. And in that episode, there is some kind of medical alien technology. Speaking of crystal healing hospitals, it's like there's a alien healing technology who just heals, but they've never encountered a human before. And the first human that they encounter is like wearing a gas mask and he's looking for his mom. But they're like, oh, this is a healthy human. This is what all humans should be like. And so they go around and start infecting people. People start growing gas masks on their faces and going, Are you my mummy? And it's like, again, because they just didn't know what was healthy. So they didn't know what to replicate or reproduce. But if they did know, then that would be this blueprint, like holding on to this is what I'm nurturing. The face down card is the King of Earth. So, oh, and then we have Death Rebirth. Interesting. Death rebirth feels very much so like it's playing into the you have to give something to get something almost. It's through his sacrifice that the acorn will find new life or something like that. But also with death rebirth, this is the life cycle of this king of earth from egg to king. I guess I'll hold it up like this. Right. It's like stuff like this is how this individual becomes the king of earth. Um, also, this is interesting because in that king of air, there were 3 eagles, there were 3 birds. Just making noises to fill the silence. Just making noises to fill the silence. Where is it? Is it at the top of the deck? Hello? Is this man at the top of the deck? No. Where is he? I overlooked him. I know this man didn't just disappear. I just put all the cards back in the deck. Hello? There's our King of Water. No, that's not even the King of Water. It's the Counselor. I saw him last time and I thought it was the King of Water. There's the Queen of Air? Where is this King of Air? Here he is. In between the 6 of fire and the 4 of air. But anyway, like those 3 eagles at the bottom of the card makes me think of this. So the King of Air is reborn as the King of Earth, which I kind of love. Going from like a cold King of Swords, King of Air energy to a nurturing King of Pentacles, King of Earth energy. Love that. But also, this is like it takes things from the purely mental into the physical. Like the King of Air is the one that could sit back and think all day, every day, but may not necessarily put his plans into motion. The King of Pentacles is the one that gets stuff done. So in this, it's a rebirth in doing and a rebirth in being. More so than just like claiming to be, more so than just thinking, more so than just like saying. So with that being said, I got an extra 15 minutes. I'm feeling satisfied. Thank you, Eve and Sandra, for stopping by. Excuse me. And I will catch the rest of you later. I kind of do want to do I have been enjoying doing the solar transits, I guess. I feel like this isn't messy enough. But anyway, it's fine. I will catch y'all next time. I hope you have an amazing whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that whatever you need along your path, journey, and what you find. I hope that you can see solution. No. What would I even hope? I guess I would hope you the ability to receive that which you rightfully deserve, even if you don't know why or how or think that you're worthy of it. I hope you can take it because apparently you earned it. Bye.